Welcome to my hometown. This is where I really grew up, and it's Lewisham, baby. And the thing I love about Lewisham is that it really taught me how to be humble. My mum done everything she possibly could for me and my two brothers when it came to like giving us new clothes for school, feeding us, putting food on our table day in, day out. And there'll be some times where she'd be too tired to even go out and do shopping. So I'd get up every day and go to the supermarket and buy stuff for my mum that she'd cook for me and my brothers to eat. And you know what, it just takes me back to realize how amazing my mum was to me and my brothers. And every time we used to go shopping, whether I was buying plantain, wherever it was, I always had my music on in the background, and I've always had quite an eclectic taste when it came to music. I used to like a little bit of like hip hop, like even indie rock, Afro beats, dancehall, house music. Like it was just a really nice representation of me and my musical taste. So this used to be something called Baseline, and what it was like a hub for young people to go to who were in school and were just struggling to like achieve really good grades. And unfortunately, that was me. I wasn't the smartest kid in school, but I always knew that if I put my head down, I could be pretty well and quite academic. So what happened is I came here, I got some advice on how I could take what I want to do to the next level. And you know what, it was actually my mum who found a radio course for me called Represent, and it was all the way in Charlton, and my mum was like to me, Jeremiah, just go to it, you never know, you might like it. I didn't want to go to it, but I thought to myself, you know what, why don't we just do it? And I went to it, and I honestly, from that day, Represent, Baseline, I never looked back. Yeah, so this is Forster Park, and me and my mates used to come here like every summer when we were like, I'd say 10 to 15, playing football. This was like the biggest place to have the most scenery and the most greenery besides the football pitch. If there's no Supermalt, then there's not a house party or a hall party. Don't count. Yeah. I'd say the best thing about growing up in school for me was really understanding who Jeremiah Asiamah is. My main ethos in school was to always make people laugh or smile, and I didn't realize how damaging that was to me, because genuinely I'd wake up and be happy going home knowing that I made someone smile or laugh, even if it was at me. And it got to a point in school where I realized that I went from being someone that people used to laugh almost with to being someone that people laughed at. And I realized, whoa, this is not good, because it was just affecting me when I went home. Like, I didn't tell my mum how I felt, and I was like, I had to do something about this. So I started seeking help. The most important thing for me about going to church was knowing that when you enter that building, it's probably the only place that you could really find real love. Like growing up in school, when I used to get called Blick, when I used to get called like chubby, wherever it was, I really struggled in like having confidence within myself as a young black male and trying to be successful in whatever I was doing. But when I went to church, it was like all that frustration and anxiety I had in school. It was almost like the pastor was saying at the time, like, you know what, no matter how bad your week has been, like God's just here to let you know that he loves you, and he loves you because he made you in his image. So if you can't appreciate the way God made you, then what you're doing. Like I always try and almost like represent what Jesus was about, and just spreading positivity and love. And if you can't do that in life, then honestly, what's the point being alive? This is where it all began, baby. I joined Represent at 16 years of age, and I was here for almost 6.5 years. And I was that boy that would just come straight from school to Represent, and I'd be the last person out of the building. Sometimes I'd even skip school just to be in the building and learn, watch, practice my DJ skills, my presenting skills. And I just really loved the idea of people tuning into me, not knowing who I was, but they still like almost resonated with me. I'd say my biggest achievement was becoming a presenter on community radio. Now to me, just even having a voice, being able to DJ and practice some skills was enough for me. And my big break was when Todd Latif from Radio 1 came on my Represent Radio show. I done a little mix so that he could see how good I was. And he was like, yo, you're like a young DJ Easy. And I got gassed because if you know me, DJ Easy is like a massive inspiration to me. Then me and Toddler, we kept in contact. He threw a party. I messaged him, was like, bro, can I help out? Like, even if it's setting up, like, I'm trying to help out. He was like, guess what? A DJ just pulled out, so I need a DJ to warm up. So can you come on? And whilst I was DJing, a BBC producer came into the venue 10 minutes before my set was about to end. He saw me, was like, I need this guy's details. Got me in DJ Target show to do like a 60-minute takeover. Then got me to do a pilot, which is like a demo that I done for the BBC. And then this happened. One piece of advice I'd give to you is that just keep chasing your dreams. You're gonna meet people who are gonna try and knock your star. You're gonna meet people who are gonna be jealous of you. But one thing you have to remember is that you can only dim your star. I'm a young, black, successful DJ and broadcaster on the biggest network of all time, the BBC. You just keep chasing your dreams, and most importantly, do not give up.